Hey guys, Nick here. I've seen a few people doing lists of games they'd like to see come out on the Amico, or at least ones they thought that would be a good fit. So, thought I'd take a few moments to put up a short list of ones that I think would work, or at least concepts of ones that I think would work well for the system. Most of you may or may not know these, and well, you may be better off not knowing some of these, but I have fond memories of them regardless, so let's get started. First up, Smash TV. I know, it's not exactly the most kid-friendly thing out there, but there's something cathartic and appealing about a game show in a dystopian future where you run and gun your way through wave after wave of enemies, picking up power-ups and looting everything in sight. This is a crazy game, both crazy hard and crazy fun trying to survive through all the waves and win fabulous prizes like toasters and VCRs. The entire game was a playoff of movies like Running Man and RoboCop. Even the main host quotes saying, "I'd buy that for $1." This is the kind of fun, over-the-top game that I think would be a blast, with like 4 people blowing things away and bragging about who got the toaster. I don't even want the items updated here. It's far more amusing putting yourself at this kind of risk for something as silly as a VCR that sells the whole game to me and harkens back to those old crazy 80s movies. Next up, Ladybug. I know. I'm alone on this hill, and by God, I'm gonna die on alone if I have to. Look, I know a lot of you see this as more of a Pac-Man clone, but it was so much more than that. Sure, you're still running around collecting pellets of food, but the game gets a lot more complex than that. Each stage has a different type of insect that will chase you, and has their own different movement patterns, much like all the ghosts had slightly different ways of attacking the player in Pac-Man, just more dramatic. You also had gates that you could flip that would open up new pathways or block off pathways for the insects to chase you. This alone added a very new dynamic to the gameplay type, making a very interesting variation on the formula. I'll admit though, part of my attachment to this game is my mother. She adored this game when I was younger, and it always brings a smile to my face thinking of the joy she got when she managed to snag some of the vegetables on the stages or block off a particularly persistent bug. I would very much like to see this game show up on the console so I could buy her one and hear about how much fun she's having playing one of her favorite games again. Okay, next up is Quicks, and I'll be honest, this one's on here kind of under duress. My wife adores this game, and she was like, oh my god, it's gotta be on the list, oh my god! And I have no idea even how to describe this game coherently. You sort of play as a spark that tries to box off sections of the play area, which changes it to a different colored, more patterned section. While you're trying to accomplish this, you're being chased by other renegade sparks that run along the connecting lines that you make, and try to hit you, which causes you to explode. There are also these other random lines and doodles, or what are these things? You know what, I'm just gonna call them jerks, because they're jerks. These things move randomly, and I mean randomly. If they connect with the line that you're trying to draw to connect to another section, boom, you're dead. My wife swears there's a strategy to this game that you develop after playing it for a while. I couldn't tell you at all if there's a strategy to this. I played this 10 or 12 times and I couldn't find enough of a pattern to form any kind of plan of how to tackle these stages after like stage 4. This one could use something to spice it up though. The enemies could be far more interesting for one, and the patterns you're making could unlock some sort of cohesive picture that would make it feel more rewarding than just taking over 65% of the board with generic pattern splashes. Maybe a nice flash, enough pictures revealed after you're done, and for the love of God, Tommy, please, can you work your magic with the music on this thing? My God, if anybody can make this thing more tolerable via music, it's gonna be you, man. Okay, next game, Marble Madness / Super Monkey Ball, something like this. This is more of a concept than it is anything really cohesive, because I don't know if you can get either. Now, Marble Madness is likely a game that you won't remember. Super Monkey Ball is a little bit more debatable. It was pretty popular on the GameCube. The idea is that you move your little marble or little monkey and its a little ball around and try to either race down the stage or complete a series of puzzles and things like that. I think this would be a really cool game to kind of show off the gyroscopics of the controller. It would be neat to kind of lean the controller and back and forth to try to get some momentum and things like that. I think it would be like really fun, and you could probably do something with the lighting and all that as you're getting a little too close to the edge. You could flash or do something cool like that. I just think it's a neat, cool idea that would highlight what makes the Amico kind of unique in design, and I think it would be a lot of fun as a result. Okay, Kid Nicky, Radical Ninja. I know. This is another stupid generic game that came out in the 80s. For some reason, I always had fun with this one. I don't know why. Something about a kid ninja running off to save his princess girlfriend, spinning a sword around to attack enemies, amuses the heck out of me for some reason. Honestly, this game really isn't that bad. The character actually has pretty good jumping ability, the controls are good, and the character design is fun. I think if it's reworked properly, it'll probably appeal to kids and adults alike as a playful beat-em-up kind of game with a fun, lighthearted premise. This is one of those games you can pick up and immediately understand how to play it. How the character fights is simple and approachable and fun. Put in a little more story, make it a little less punishing, okay, a lot less punishing, this game's kind of brutal, and polish the character design, and I think this could be a very notable game this time around, instead of just lost in the wave of games that were like it when it came out at the time. Okay, we're up to number 6, Gunsmoke. I know, I had almost completely forgotten about this game myself until I was thinking about what I'd want to see rebooted in general and what would work on the Amico, and this one just came to mind. Now this came out in 1988 and was published by Capcom. You play as a cowboy who rolls into town to clean it up and collect a bounty. The gameplay is pretty simple. You can shoot left and right. You collect various different power-ups and weapons that you can buy to help you take out the bad guys. Just don't be like me and loop through the stage 9 times before you realize you need to buy the warrant from this guy for 20k? What the? The warrant's only worth 10k, you jerk! Still, the game holds up and it's a lot of fun even today. Frankly, I'd put this one up simply because I have fond memories of it as a kid, and it brings up an easy pick-up-and-play Western game to the console that I don't think it has right now, and what console doesn't need some sort of spaghetti Western launched on it from time to time? Lastly, and certainly not least, and probably my favorite on this list, is Adventures of Lolo. This is a really cool game. I mean, one look at it and you can pretty much see why it should be on the Amico. It's got that right amount of clever design and cuteness that just screams family friendly to me. And it's a franchise that has had not one, but 3 consecutive titles on the NES, and then for some reason just vanished. I don't think Hal, who published it, had any idea that this was going to be as popular as it was. It totally took him by surprise. The character is a lovable looking anthropomorphic thing. Hey, you come up with a name for the species for this little guy, okay? I got nothing. You have to navigate him through roughly 10 stages of 5 rooms, and basically you can move blocks around, set up ladders, and basically try to avoid / neutralize enemies and collect all the little heart icons. Once you collect all the little hearts, the chest opens and any traps that were set up like dragons spewing fire or Medusas shooting beams wake up and try to attack you. Now you have to quickly grab the item in the chest to complete the stage and open the door to the next room. This is a very easy to understand game that gets more fun and more complex as it goes along, and at least I think would fit right in on the Amico as a fun puzzler. You can even add on multiplayer puzzles, with switches that you have to step on at the same time, or one person has to move things so another person can progress. Either way, I think it would be a fun little title that people would have a lot of fun with. So, there you go. Those are 7 games that I think would actually fit right in on the Amico with the kind of family fun. Okay, well maybe not Smash TV, but I like it and I don't want to see it redone and I want to see it more approachable. That game's kind of insane. Still, it's a very fun game. It's very irreverent to like 80s culture and kind of makes fun of it in its own little way, and I think it would be a good fit, as would all these other games, at least in my mind. What do you guys think? Is there one I missed that you really want to see on there? Do you agree with the picks that I made? Do you disagree with the picks I made? Keep in mind, this list is just for fun, and it's kind of a wish list of things that I think would be entertaining and could really push forward the system in a way that I don't know that anybody else has really tried to do. They're both retro, but they're so forgotten that they may as well be new, and it just seems like something that would be fun and kind of cool to have on the game system. So, let me know in the comments what you think. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe and hit the notify bell if you find more of my content that you like, and until next time, as always, happy gaming.